Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to work on the initial styling of this large cutting that I planted earlier this summer, probably about 2 to 3 months ago. It's a little messy, not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but just initial thoughts and look at it. It looks like it's going to be pretty drastic. Got some things that I really don't like. Don't like this branch being so straight here. I do like the curve in the trunk. You can see it comes up, curves this way, and then it's got a bend up here, and it curves back that way, which is kind of nice. I'm not sure I like this branch, where it tees off and it's really thick there. It's a lot thicker than these lower branches, which if I let these grow, if they stay, I could let those grow and they would get longer and thicker. And I also don't like how straight this branch is. And since the cutting was so mature when I planted it, it's very difficult to do any shaping or bending. You could bend it down a little bit, but it's still going to have that straight look, which isn't ideal. So I'm thinking that this trunk, this branch here might be better to live on as a new tree. So if I cut it here, make a nice cutting to get started on a new tree. So I think we might do that and then see what we're left with. It's gonna take some of this bulk off the top, but I think it's gonna have to happen. So start with that. Get that out of the way. Like I said, that'll be a nice cutting. We'll just trim that off to where it's flush at the bottom. And I think that, that could develop into something quite nice pretty quick. It's got branches all the way around it, pretty thick, so set that aside and probably pot that up. So now that we've made quite a severe cut, trim this up a little bit. I'm not going quite back to the trunk. I'll leave a little bit there for that to dry up and callus over. Because what'll happen, you can see it's out a little bit from the trunk. That'll dry up and back to the trunk, and then you can just snip that part off. It'll dry up, and then you can probably just rub it off with your finger, and it'll end up being flush. I will put a little cut paste on that just to keep. I'm seeing a few critters on this tree as I'm working on it. A few little bugs, so this will just keep anything out of the tree. Keep it from getting any infection. So we'll leave that on there. You don't always need to do that on portulacarias, but I do sometimes just to be safe. Okay, so here's what we're left with. I do like the way this is. This is a little long for me. It's not ideal. It would be nice if it was coming out of the soil about there to start the the bend, but we'll work with this. Might not do a lot to it today as far as wiring. We'll just kind of see what happens, how it shapes up here. Let's cut some of these back. Probably not going to do a whole lot to it today. It's going to be a quick maintenance prune. It's all part of the process. Kind of get it in shape. Still not liking this branch. It's just too straight. I mean, I guess we could try to bend it, put a little movement into it, see how flexible it is without breaking it. Yeah, we might be able to do something with that. I think we'll leave it for now. Cut some of these back. Kind of liking that for the back, just because there's a lot of back branches and growth out of the back. Get this hard prune back to create more ramification. Not really fond of these branches here, bar branches. It'd be ideal, to go left, right, left again, right, left, lose this one and have this be the next right branch. See what it looks like. This is what I'm thinking for the front. So we could move something down here. Might be able to even get a little bit more bend in that. Might make it a little more interesting. Not sure we'll do that today, but it is a little tall. I think we'll take it down a little bit more. See if we can force some back budding down lower on the branch and lower on the trunk. So it's going to be pretty drastic today just for the initial styling, but it's kind of what it takes sometimes. just really not liking that. It's just too thick and straight. I think we're gonna get rid of that for now. Yeah, I don't know. I think we might leave that. Let me see if I can get some wire. Like I said in some of my other videos, I'm not, I don't get hung up in the, the quote unquote proper way to wire. I kind of do what gets the job done. Just enough to where I can get it anchored. And get the bend that I'm shooting for. Especially on these early stylings, I'm not real concerned how the wire looks. I just want to make sure that I can get it into the shape that I'm working on. We'll bend this around towards the front some. And these can be pretty flexible. The key is when you start hearing the crackling and popping, it's about time to quit bending. Yeah, it just adds a little movement to it. I think that looks pretty good. For now anyway. We'll see how that develops and if we want to keep it. This doesn't really taper a lot either, which is another trouble part. It pretty much stays the same thickness all the way up, and it almost gets a little thicker up here. It's thicker up in here than it is in here, which is not ideal either. You could almost argue to take it off there and kind of start over, but I do kind of like that bend. Just add some interest to it. I'm kind of liking that for the front, something like that. Yeah, if this is going to stay, if these branches are going to stay, I'm going to have to let those grow out pretty far to thicken up, because they should taper down to where the bottom branch should be thicker, a little thinner, and then even thinner as you go up to the top. But as you can tell, this one's thick, this one's thin, and this one's thick again. So for these to work in this design, they're going to have to get thicker, which can be done. Just have to let them grow out a lot longer, keep the top pruned back. And who knows, years down the road, this tree may end up getting chopped, something like that, and just kind of develop a whole new tree out of it. But I think for today we're just about there for today. And yep, I think we'll leave it at that for today. So I'll give you a quick spin around. Back. And back to the front. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.